Rusyn, also known in English as Ruthene UK US, is an East Slavic language variety spoken by the Rusyns of Eastern Europe. There are controversial political implications about the nature of Rusyn as a language or dialect. While some linguists treat it as a distinct language, some scholars of Slavic languages treat it as a dialect of Ukrainian. Geographical distribution. Rusyn, or, specifically, Carpatho-Rusyn, is a vernacular spoken in the Transcarpathian region of Ukraine. Northeastern Slovakia. In Vojvodina, Serbia. Southeastern Poland, where the Rusyn dialect is generally known as Angstromomkoski, after the characteristic word th micron th1 quarter/lem. Hungary. And Northern Marmara and registered trademark, Romania, where the people are called Ruteni in the language Rusyns of Florin. Classification. The classification and identification of the Rusyn language is historically and politically problematic. Prior to World War I, Rusyns were recognized as the Ruthens of Galicia within the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Crown Prince Franz Ferdinand had planned to recognize them as one of the 10 states of a planned United States of Greater Austria before his assassination. After the war, Austria-Hungary was partitioned, and Ruthenia was appended to the new Czechoslovak state as its easternmost province. With the advent of World War II, Ruthenia declared its independence, lasting one day, until its annexation by Hungary. After the war, the Ruthens of Czechoslovakia, occupied by Hungary, were annexed by the Soviet Union as part of the Ukrainian SSR, which proceeded with an anti-ethnic assimilation program. Poland did the same, using internal exile to move all Rusyns from the southern homelands to western areas conquered from Germany, and immersed in Polish. Scholars with the former Institute of Slavic and Balkan Studies in Moscow formally re-acknowledged Rusyn as a separate language in 1992, and trained specialists to study the language. These studies were financially supported by the Russian Academy of Sciences. Ukrainian politicians do not recognize Rusyns as a separate ethnicity, regardless of Rusyn self-identification. Ukraine officially considers Rusyn a dialect of Ukrainian, related to the Hutsul dialect of Ukrainian. Attempts to standardize variants of Rusyn have been unsuccessful. Rusyns live in 4 countries, and efforts are hampered because Rusyns living outside the traditional home region often do not speak the language fluently. Different orthographies have been developed, and a number of different grammatical standards exist, based on regional dialects. It is not possible to estimate accurately the number of fluent speakers of Rusyn. However, their number is estimated in the tens of thousands, primarily living in Ukraine and Slovakia. Serbia has recognized Rusyn, more precisely Pannonian Rusyn in Vojvodina, Serbia as an official minority language. Since 1995, Rusyn has been recognized as a minority language in Slovakia, enjoying the status of an official language in municipalities where more than 20% of the inhabitants speak Rusyn. Rusyn is listed as a protected language by the European Charter for Regional or Minority Languages in Slovakia, Serbia, Croatia and Romania. Grammars and codification. The Rusyn dialect was codified as a language in Vojvodina region of Yugoslavia in 1923 and in Slovakia in 1995. Early grammars include Dmitrij Vyslokaji's thsh degree n euro th degree n th 3/4 n euro n florin n n th to the first th plus or minus n florin th squared th degree n euro no Vanjahunjanki and Metodlaj Trochanovskij's th un florin th squared th degree n euro. Tithe micron n euro n th degree th 1/2 th paragraph th micron n th degree th n th 1/2 th degree n euro th 3/4 th 1/2 n on n th 3/4 th. Dialects. The Carpatho-Rusyn language can be divided as follows: Boyko, Hutsul, Lemko and Dialinian are identified as Ukrainian dialects since most of their speakers identify themselves as Ukrainians. Alphabet. Until World War II, the letter N cent £10 was used, and was pronounced OR. Newspapers. Karpatska Rus, thn florin nth 1/2 n noeth th degree th plus or minus th micron n th degree th degree n euro th 3/4 th 1/2 n th 1/2 th 3/4 th squared th 1/2 thn Podkapatska Russa euro tie 3/4 th degree n euro th degree n unknoweth th degree thn florin n no Amerikansky Ruski Viestnika euro Lemko euro thn florin nth 1/2 th degree nthn florin th d squared th micron nth micro euro Rusnesa vis. See also Bezida, Alexander Duknovia S. Theatre, Eastern Slovak dialects, Old Ruthenian, Pannonian Rusyns, Petro Trochanovsky, contemporary Rusyn poet, Metodlaj Trochanovsky, Lemko grammarian. References. Further reading, Zotkevich, Grigory. The Rusyn Question in a Nutshell. OCLC 22065508. A new Slavic language is born. The Rusyn Literary Language in Slovakia. Ed. Paul Robert Magaksai. New York, 1996. Magaksai, Paul Robert. Let's Speak Rusyn th un nn thn florin th to the first th 1/4 th micron th 3/4 n euro n florin n noeth n. Englewood 1976. Alexand Dmitrievich Dulichenko. Yugoslavo Ruthenica th 3/4 th plus or minus th 3/4 n th n euro n florin n th micron th to the first n th 3/4 th 3/4 n th 3/4 th squared th degree th 1995. Taras Kyortsio, The Rusyn Question in Ukraine, Sorting Out Fact from Fiction, Canadian Review of Studies in Nationalism, XXXII, Elaine Rusinko, Rosinski Ruski Pisny selected by Natala Dudash. Musa Spidkar Pat assembled by Anna Plishkova. Books Review. The Slavic and East European Journal, Volume 42, Number 2, pages 348 to 350. JSTOR Archive, Tython nth 3/4 th squared th degree, th 1/2 th 1/2 th degree, Anna Plishkovathon florin th degree nth sh degree n euro th degree n. Musa Spidkar Pathin euro nth squared thn florin nth 1/2 no nth degree th 3/4 th plus or minus n euro th 3/4 th degree, 1996. Online, th micron n euro th 3/4 th squared nth to the first th registered trademark th nth tie 3/4 th degree n euro th degree n on th 3/4 th to the first thn florin nth euro through 3/4 nth squared th degree, 1995, Marta Harasoska. Morphophonemic Variability, Productivity, and Change, The Case of Rusyn, Berlin. New York, Mouton de Guita, 1999, ISBN 3-11-015761-6. Book review by Edward J. Vorder, Language, Volume 76, Number 3, pages 728 to 729. II Pop, Paul Robert Magaksai, Encyclopedia of Rusyn History and Culture, University of Toronto Press, 2002, ISBN 0-8020-3566-3, Pliakova, Anna, Rusa Nsky Jazyk na Slovansku, Now Infinite RT var 1/2 Voja Azara Asna Copyright Probla Copyright My. Priev, Metodico Pedagogika Copyright Centrum, 2007, 116 s. Slovak Rusyn. External links, Rusyn language at the World Academy of Rusyn Culture, Rusyn Greco-Catholic Church in Novi Sad, Rusyn Ukrainian Online Dictionary.